back to part 2 of the build of this occasional table, library table, whatever you'd like to call it. So last time we made all the materials to make the case and the legs, and we glued it and put it all together. Now I'm going to show you, as promised in the last video, how to make a jig to cut a tapered leg, which is what we're going to do now. Okay, so to cut an angled leg, you need to make a jig. It's a very simple jig. Incidentally, a jig is a tool or a device that can help you to perform a process or to do a job easier and a repetitive job. So what you do, or you need rather, is a piece of stable material. Now this is actually marine ply. It's pretty stable. And attach a stop block to one end. Then it's necessary to work out what sort of angle you want. Now you can do it by eye. I normally do is this sort of process. Okay, so the back of the leg goes against the stop here, and you cut a piece of material that is, for you, the correct angle of cut for the leg to be tapered at. And in my case it's 1 inch or 25 mil. So now we'll screw that to the end here and we'll cut some tapers. Okay, so this is what the setup looks like. You have a stop block here, and you have a raised, I suppose, keel there. And so this is what the setup looks like. Now what I've actually done as well is because my fence is not, I don't regard it as sturdy enough to do this operation, I have put a piece of 4x2 on here that's very good 4x2, and I've set it up the right distance from the blade, and now I'm going to pass this. That's one side completed. Notice the taper. Now the other side. And there is one rough sawn, rough put together, tapered leg. bit of sub-assembly now. Getting the legs on. What I'm going to do is just tack a couple of tacks in. Have it away. And there. And there. Not on the front face though. Bad, did it? So far anyway. So now what we need to start to do is to put some infrastructure into this to brace things up side to side, and to also put some infrastructure in there for the drawers, drawer slides and what have you. So we'll do that right now. I did have a lovely piece of oak plank in here with this feature in the middle here that I actually cut to be right bang in the middle of the tabletop. Unfortunately, when I cut the board through, I found that it was quite badly cupped. That is, the wood is bowed this way like this, and I fear that if I continue with this and put it on there and screw it down, over time it's definitely going to split right up through the middle. So really this is a piece of junk. Now, I mean, I can cut it up into smaller planks and possibly use it for the drawers. What I've decided to do is get two smaller oak planks of wood and joint them together. Now, as I have this new Craig jig, and I know they joint very well. As you can see, all this here is done with Craig pocket jig holes and screwed up, and it makes a very, very nice tight joint, especially when you combine it with glue, wood glue. Well, I've butt jointed a couple of plank test pieces here, you can see, where I've put a couple on this side and actually one on that side to even things up, and it doesn't do a bad job actually. It does a pretty good job. I'm still undecided whether I'm going to use the Craig jig pocket hole method to join two planks together, or whether I'm going to use biscuit joints. I haven't quite made up my mind yet, but I will in the next half an hour or so. Right, well, I've decided to use this plank of again furniture grade oak, but this time I'm going to use Biscuit Joiner. So the first process we have to do is to cut this in half and then joint one edge rather, on each side of each piece, and we'll use the biscuit joiner, put some biscuits on it. I've got some clamps over there set up on the bench, and it can stay there for 6 hours or so, and hopefully everything will be fine. So here we go. Okay, biscuit joiner. So this is a biscuit joiner. It has a few adjustments on it. This is a 90-degree like faceplate, so you can use it in different angles. In our case, we want it set at 90 degrees, like that. Like so. And there's an adjustment on the side here. This is 0, 10, 20. Not quite sure what the M stands for. I think that might be a some sort of industry standard size. I just normally use the 10 and 20 millimeter. So what that stands for is, well, that's a 20 millimeter biscuit. That's a 10 millimeter biscuit. So this little wheel determines how far the actual tool moves into the work, and that's the cutter. You can just see the blade there. So we're going to be using the larger ones. So the first thing we need to do actually is mark out on the, I've got them set out there side by side, how they're going to be jointed. So we're going to mark out now where we're going to put the biscuits. That's just really putting a line on there so we know exactly where to cut the biscuits. And that line matches up with the line or the groove through here, so you know that each side lines up perfectly with the shape of the biscuit and there's no problems. Clamps all set out now. I've got my biscuits, I can get them out, and I've got my glue. So let's start gluing. Every good carpenter or woodworker uses a special tool to spread the glue over, and it's probably the best tool designed for the job. That's your finger. Because you can feel every bit of it. Control your finger better than you could can any spatula or anything like that. It's easy. It doesn't really matter if you've got too much glue. Obviously you don't want mountings of it. you can always wipe it off after. It's essential to get a good coating on the biscuits. So the next job is to get the biscuits all lined up, slotted in. This can be sometimes tricky. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull it in. What I do is I get some softer material, put in here, because I don't want the metal clamps to damage the wood. It's much easier to get a bit of pine against a very expensive piece of oak. We'll just pull it in like this. We'll wipe the excess glue off afterwards. Get a bit of water on this rag. It's easier to clean it off now with a wet rag than what it is to try get it off afterwards. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video today. If you did, please press like, subscribe to my channel. Press the red box down the bottom there. That'll take you to my YouTube channel where there's 118 videos. The next and final video in this series, making this library table, will consist of making the drawers, making the infrastructure for the drawers rather, finishing the top, and in fact finishing the whole thing. So well, I hope you join me next time. So bye for now.